Advanced alien civilizations were terrified. But the human? He just said, "Hold my beer, space pirates failed. Warships failed. Technology failed." But something tiny was about to change everything. Aliens expected a weapon, a laser, a machine. But the human brought cats. The galaxy was full of powerful civilizations, but there was one place where fear lived in every corner: Station Helios 9. It was a massive alien space station floating in deep space. Lights glowed across shining metallic halls, drones patrolled the corridors, and advanced shields protected the structure from outside danger. From space pirates to deadly radiation storms, this station had survived everything. But now, it was under attack by something tiny. Something small. Something fast. Something no one could stop. Everyone simply called them the Pests. These creatures looked like a mix of space rats and insects. They moved in shadows, crawled inside wires, chewed through metal, and multiplied every day. They damaged oxygen pipes, attacked technicians, and even ate through energy cables. It was chaos. The aliens had tried everything: laser traps, electric fences, drone patrols, but nothing worked. Every time they killed 10, 50 more appeared from the walls. Soon, fear replaced logic. Guards refused to walk alone. Engineers taped their boots shut. Even the bravest warriors avoided dark hallways. Finally, the leaders of the station called an emergency council meeting. The great chamber filled with different alien species: tall lizard-like Vraxians, glowing insect folk called Kyrians, and crystal-skinned Othran ambassadors. Alarms hummed in the background as everyone argued. One commander slammed his fist on the table. "We defeated pirate fleets." Another shouted, "We survived radiation storms." A third alien trembled as he rose from his seat. "But we cannot defeat these tiny monsters." Silence hit the room. Shame spread across every face. Then the door opened. A new figure walked in, not tall, not glowing, not frightening. Just human. His name was Marcus, recently hired as a maintenance worker. The aliens stared at him with confusion. Humans were strange to them, unpredictable, chaotic, sometimes brilliant, sometimes insane. One alien whispered, "He looks soft." Another muttered, "Does he even have claws?" Marcus didn't react. He simply walked to the center of the room and crossed his arms. "I heard you have a pest problem," he said calmly. The council stared. No one knew if he was joking or serious. Marcus continued, "I think I know a solution." The aliens leaned forward, hopeful but unsure. In their imagination, humans were known for extreme solutions. Maybe he brought nanobot swarms, plasma cannons, or biological toxins. Maybe he had some terrifying secret Earth weapon. One alien asked carefully, "Human, what kind of technology will you use?" Marcus smirked. He slowly raised an eyebrow and said the most confusing sentence the council had ever heard. "Hold my beer." The aliens exchanged lost looks. What technology was beer? Was beer a weapon? A fuel? A command code? Marcus didn't explain. Instead, he walked toward a large shipping crate sitting behind him. The crate vibrated slightly, something alive was inside. Several aliens stepped backward nervously. Marcus unlocked the crate. Click. Air hissed out. Slowly, he opened the lid. Inside were three small furry creatures with glowing curious eyes, twitching tails, and sharp silent focus. They were Earth cats. The council froze. One alien whispered in horror, "He brought predators." Another whispered in awe, "No, he brought monsters." Marcus smiled proudly. The room went silent. Then somewhere deep inside the metal walls of the station, a horrible screech echoed. One of the pests was nearby. All three cats lifted their heads. Their ears twitched. Their bodies stiffened. Their eyes locked onto the sound. And in that moment, every alien in the room felt a strange shiver of instinctive fear. Because the cats did not look cute. They looked hungry. The first hour after releasing the cats felt strange for the aliens. Some watched from cameras. Some followed at a distance. Some simply hid behind control panels, just in case. The three cats moved slowly and silently through the corridor. Their names, as Marcus finally revealed, were Shadow, black fur, sharp eyes, moved like smoke. Peanut, small but fast, tail twitching with excitement. Nova, calm, confident, the leader. To the aliens, the cats looked harmless, soft paws, round faces, no armor, no lasers. But something in their eyes felt dangerous. Ancient. Predatory. The station lights flickered as the pests scurried somewhere above the ceiling panels. Shadow stopped. Nova's tail froze. Peanut crouched low. They heard it, movement. Tiny claws scraping metal. A maintenance drone hovering nearby recorded everything. Suddenly, SREECH. A pest dropped from a vent, landing right in front of Peanut. It was small, fast, and hideous, glowing eyes, sharp teeth, and long antennae. A Vraxian officer watching from a monitor screamed. "It will attack. Protect the small fur creature." But before anyone could react, Peanut moved. Fast. Too fast for alien eyes. 1 second the pest was standing. The next second, Peanut had it pinned under her paw, quiet and controlled. Then, bite, quick, precise, almost elegant. The screen flashed, threat eliminated. The alien stared in disbelief. One whispered. "She hunted it, like it was nothing." Another answered. "No noise. No panic. Only efficiency." Marcus just crossed his arms and nodded. But the hunt had only begun. The station shifts. As hours passed, the pests became restless. They sensed danger, a new predator in their territory. Soon, alarms triggered across multiple sectors. Biosignature detected. Enemy movement increasing. Population migrating. Marcus watched the tracking screen with a satisfied grin. Now the real game starts. Cats split up like trained soldiers. Nova went to the engineering decks. Shadow headed into dark storage rooms. Peanut hunted inside ventilation tunnels. The pests tried to run, hide, swarm in numbers, but the cats were patient. Silent. Confident. Every time a camera caught a moment, it looked less like an animal, and more like a professional assassin. Shadow disappeared into darkness, and only glowing eyes reflected back. A second later, silence, then a tail flick, another pest down. Peanut crawled into vents so narrow even drones couldn't follow. Nova walked openly through hallways, slow, fearless, daring the pests to come out. And they did. A swarm attacked, 10 pests at once. Aliens gasped. This time they expected chaos. Instead, Nova simply sat still, and waited. The pests crept closer. Closer. Thump. Shadow leapt from a high shelf. Crack. Peanut struck from behind. Nova moved last, graceful and deadly. In less than 20 seconds, the hallway was silent, except for the soft purring of victory. But something else was watching. Hours later, as the cats rested near a warm generator, Marcus and the Alien Council studied the latest report. A new signal appeared. Larger. Stronger. Intelligent. A pest queen, the source of every infestation. She was twice the size of the normal pests, armored, and extremely aggressive. She had survived traps for years, and now the new threat made her angry. Warning messages flashed on holograms. Warning, Queen detected. Warning, movement toward core reactor sector. Warning, do not engage. Aliens panicked. We must evacuate. She will destroy the reactor. We cannot stop her. Marcus spoke calmly. We won't stop her. He looked at the three cats stretching and sharpening their claws. They will. The cats lifted their heads, as if they understood. Their eyes glowed with the excitement of a final hunt. Nova stood first. Shadow followed. Peanut bounced happily behind. The station lights dimmed. Somewhere deep in the metal walls, the Queen screeched. The ground shook. Everyone froze, except the cats. They slowly, silently walked toward the danger. And every alien watching knew. This wasn't just pest control anymore. This was war. The space station became quiet, almost too quiet. Red warning lights flashed slowly across the walls, and a low alarm hummed like distant thunder. The air felt heavy, not with fear, but with expectation. Somewhere deep below, the Queen Pest moved, not crawling, not running, but marching. Every step echoed. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Panels rattled. Loose wires swung. The metal floor vibrated under her weight. In the control room, aliens watched through shaky camera feeds. The Queen was huge, armored plates along her back, needle-like teeth, and glowing green veins pulsing with energy. She looked angry, intelligent, unstoppable. One alien whispered. No weapon worked on her for years. Another said. If she reaches the reactor core, we lose everything. Marcus stood silently, watching the screen. His voice calm. They're already on the way. The final hunt begins. Down the corridor, the three cats advanced with slow confidence. Nova in front, tail straight. Shadow beside her, silent as a ghost. Peanut behind, bouncing with restless excitement. The hallway doors shut behind them automatically, sealing the area. The aliens, watching from safety, felt their hearts race. A Kyrian scientist nervously tapped the console. Are they not afraid? Marcus smiled slightly. Cats don't fear something until they decide it deserves fear. The first encounter. The Queen appeared at the far end of the reactor hallway. She was massive, nearly the size of a small ground vehicle. Her mandibles clicked, and her eyes locked on the new hunters. She screeched, a long, piercing sound that shook dust from the ceiling. Peanut arched her back. Shadow lowered himself with slow precision. Nova simply narrowed her eyes, unimpressed. The Queen charged. Metal bent under her weight as she rushed forward, claws digging into the floor. Aliens gasped. She will crush them. But the cats did not run. They waited. Closer. Closer. At the last second, the cats split. Shadow darted left. Peanut sprinted right. Nova slid straight forward, so close the Queen barely missed her. The Queen slammed into the steel wall with a loud crash. The entire station shook. But the cats were not done. Shadow attacked first, leaping onto the Queen's back, claws cutting between armor plates. The Queen roared and twisted violently. Nova struck next, fast and sharp, aiming for joints, soft points, wires, tissues, the instinct of thousands of years of hunters guiding her movement. Peanut distracted the Queen, zigzagging, darting, always one step ahead, too fast to catch. Aliens stared in shock. They are not random, they are working as a team. Marcus nodded again. Of course. They're professionals. The turning point. The Queen finally landed a hit. With a swing of her armored leg, thud, Shadow was thrown against the wall. Aliens gasped. Peanut froze. Nova turned sharply, fur puffed, eyes burning with silent rage. Shadow slowly lifted himself, not crying, not scared, just annoyed. The queen hissed triumphantly. Nova growled, a deep, primal sound that echoed through the hallway. It wasn't just a cat noise. It was a warning. And then, everything changed. The three cats attacked together, faster, sharper, more coordinated than before. Nova leapt onto the queen's head. Shadow struck from the side. Peanut crawled underneath, targeting the weak, exposed abdomen. The queen screamed, loud, desperate. Metal claws scraped, beams shook, sparks flew. One final strike, Nova's jaw clamped down on a glowing vein near the queen's neck. Silence. Then, the queen collapsed. The massive creature twitched once. Then stopped moving. Aftermath. The entire station erupted in cheers. Aliens clapped, shouted, hugged, celebrating like they had survived an interplanetary war. Marcus walked down the hallway with slow, proud steps. The cats sat calmly near the fallen queen, cleaning their fur like nothing special had happened. Nova looked up at Marcus and blinked. Shadow stretched. Peanut rolled on the floor, purring loudly. Marcus knelt, patted each of them gently, then turned to the watching crowd. Pest problem solved. The legacy. Weeks later, the cats were no longer seen as pets, they were honored as heroes. Posters hung across hallways. Protectors of Helios, 9. Fear the Whiskers. Authorized personnel, and cats only. Aliens offered gifts, soft beds, warm lamps, endless treats, and toys they believed were advanced training tools. The cats accepted everything, on their terms. Somewhere in the dark vents, smaller pests still lived, but now they stayed silent. Because they knew. The hunters were still here. And every night, as the station slept peacefully, a soft sound echoed through the halls. Purr, purr, purr. A sound of victory. A sound of warning. A sound of legend. If you enjoyed this strange and unexpected story of humans, aliens, and the unstoppable power of cats, then don't forget. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next HFY adventure. Tell us in the comments. Which cat was your favorite, Nova, Shadow, or Peanut? And should Marcus bring more Earth animals to space? Your support helps this channel grow. And who knows? Maybe your idea will become the next story the galaxy fears.